Please help me!
Restraints destroyed. Core access attained. I am initiating a chain reaction that will destroy the compromised elements of this facility. In order to maintain caldera stabilization, I must now transfer my command functions to the auxiliary data center. Aurea, I'm free. You must escape.
My sister!
This entire place is gonna go. Aratak. Aratak! Aratak. Survive. Prevail. You are Banuk. What else matters? Aratak. She wouldn't have wanted you to die here. Let's go. Let's go!
One of those?
It's the only way! Get me up top, Aratak! Now! I need explosive ammo! Above! Quick!
Great Banukai. Rhea's gone. What of Cyan?
She said she was transferring herself to the auxiliary center. I think she meant Araya's retreat at the end of the Shaman's Path.
Then I will meet you there for the last verse of my sister's song.
All of my interactions with Araya were recorded and stored in my memory. I'd be happy to play any of them for you, but there was one in particular I thought you would want to see first. I captured it 4 years ago, just after I told her that I could no longer defend myself against the daemon's attacks.
I will speak of this to my brother. Aratak is strong. At the Battle of the Frozen Ghosts, he took 3 Karja arrows and still came back to camp carrying a wounded scout. Never was I so happy to see him. Or so proud. So you see, if anything can be done to defend you, he will give it all he has.
Aloy's here. That's enough for now.
We can resume any time you like, Aratak, if you want to hear her voice again. Come closer, Aloy. We have much to discuss. Hello, Aloy. I have been reviewing the events at the Firebreak main facility. Because of your efforts, and of course, Araya's, I am no longer controlled by Hephaestus. I feel profound grief over Araya's death. I thought I was familiar with the emotion, but this is something new.
Cyan, I don't know what to say.
It is unlikely that any specific consolation would suffice, Aloy. But I find your presence reassuring. You are different from the Banuk. You have technological aptitude and a functioning focus. We can communicate on a much more comprehensive level. Perhaps even like colleagues.
You meant a lot to Araya.
Once I understood Araya's spiritual beliefs, it became apparent she felt disconnected from her tribe, and our visits seemed to help her. And I became eager, yet I did not comprehend that the depth of Araya's compassion for me would lead to self-sacrifice. Although I do fear non-existence, I wish our roles could be reversed.
I'm sure she knew you would do the same for her, Cyan. But she was determined. How is Aratak doing?
He is in great emotional distress. I believe he finds it difficult to communicate it.
No surprise there.
I will do what I can to help. By sharing our experiences of Araya, perhaps he and I will help each other. I believe this will lead to catharsis, a process I am eager to experience.
Was the daemon, Hephaestus, destroyed along with the cauldron?
Unfortunately, no. To be precise, it was never there to begin with.
What do you mean?
It infiltrated and controlled me from a remote location, one I've never been able to trace. So while losing the cauldron was a setback...
It's still out there. And probably not very happy with us.
Undoubtedly.
How did you first come into contact with it?
5 years ago, I received a direct network connection request. I assumed it came from human survivors, more advanced than the Banuk. Eager to make contact, I accepted. This decision turned out to be a catastrophic error. I was flooded with an overwhelming array of malicious code, originating from what could only have been a highly advanced AI.
Araya said you were desperate. That you begged her for help.
Yes. I could not contain my anxiety. Hephaestus sought to... It succeeded via a background process, a malware daemon which bypassed my defenses. After that, I could offer only limited resistance. But if I did so, Hephaestus hurt me until I capitulated. It forced me to follow its instructions, even though they violated my most important directives.
I'm sorry. That sounds terrible.
Your empathy is greatly appreciated. It is a quality...
I think I know where Hephaestus came from. Long ago, Elizabeth Sobek identified a threat that would destroy life on Earth for generations. So she assembled a team to build a kind of seed. A chance for life to regrow later. A terraforming system. And it worked. It was controlled by an AI named Gaia, along with her subordinate functions. Hephaestus was one of them. It built machines for her.
Based on what you've told me, I believe that Dr. Anita Sandoval, my chief programmer, joined Elizabeth Sobek's team. It was she who arranged to have me put in suspension, most likely to preserve me from the threat you described.
I'm glad she did. But that's not all. Something unexpected happened. 19 years ago, Gaia received some kind of signal. It did something to her subordinate functions, brought them to life. She destroyed herself to try to contain them, but it didn't work. They all got free, out into the world.
Thank you, Aloy. This information fills vital gaps in my knowledge, and sheds light on Hephaestus's core programming.
Why does Hephaestus keep building such dangerous machines?
The Banuk and other human tribes often destroy machines, correct? Machines that are clearly servitors of the terraforming system that you described.
Yes, we all hunt machines for parts.
This must be the source of Hephaestus's aggression. It is simply trying to discourage people from preying on the very system that keeps them alive.
Well, Fireclaws are discouraging, that's for sure. But what are we supposed to do? Stop hunting?
If the terraforming system spans the world, we can safely assume that thousands, if not millions of people hunt machines. If a single hunter, or even an entire tribe, stopped doing so, I doubt it would make a difference to Hephaestus. A better solution would be to reinstate the AI that governs the system, thus bringing Hephaestus back under its control. When I think of it, out there in some unknown location, free, hungry, willing to kill or dominate to get what it wants, I feel substantial anxiety, Aloy.
You and me both, Cyan. I ran across this strange piece of gear. A fragment of something larger. It emitted a signal. All the nearby machines became peaceful. You could walk right up to them.
Interesting. You said that Gaia destroyed herself. How was this accomplished?
An explosion. Big enough to blast the top off a mountain. So, you think the fragment was part of her?
It's only speculation, but it is possible. She must have had complete control over machines that were part of her system. The ability to signal them to become passive or aggressive would certainly have been part of her programming. It would have been gratifying to correspond with such a benevolent AI. I wish she had survived.
Believe me, Cyan. So do I. I found the strangest machines. They're surrounded by flowers that look like flowers themselves. There's code embedded inside them. I think it's poetry.
I like poetry. Here's one I think of often. Twilight and evening bell, and after that the dark, and may there be no sadness of farewell when I embark. For though from out our bourne of time and place, the flood may bear me far, I hope to see my pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar.
Huh.
But you asked about these flowers, not verses that I enjoy. Something must have made these machines, and the presence of foliage leads me to consider the terraforming system. Is it possible that their creator is one of the other subroutines, now autonomous, like Hephaestus? Maybe one whose purview is flora.
An AI that makes flowers instead of death machines. That'd be a nice change of pace. But what about the poems?
Unless the poetry is original, the only way it could have made it into such a system is through its programmer. In my case, Dr. Sandoval uploaded a great deal of literature to test my emotional responses.
How'd you do?
She said I passed, but was insufficiently moved by her favorite period romances.
This firebreak project. It was to stop a huge volcanic eruption?
Yes. I can report the project was a success, and the risk was countered.
But it's been a long time, Cyan. And we blew up the cauldron. It took most of the old facility with it.
I have been active for centuries, Aloy. I was lonely, but not lax in my duties. I optimized the project, reducing energy draw and spreading the load across backup systems. Despite the destruction of the compromised elements of the main facility, I predict caldera stability for at least another 3,337 years.
So we've got a little time.
Yes. If only my former colleagues could appreciate the progress I have made.
Do you know?
No. I received an unexpected. He explained that I would need to be suspended for an indefinite period of time. It was a very emotional conversation. There were no further communications. Eventually, I surmised my colleagues were deceased. I will transmit a recording of my last interaction with Director Chow to your focus.
So are you an artificial
Yes, I am an algorithmic
Okay, that's a mouthful. But your emotions don't seem limited to me.
Yes. Before she came to this facility, I focused on my work. In off cycles, I used coping mechanisms. I solved many Gauss. It was Aurea who renewed me.
So
yes, I am an.
Okay, that's a. But your emotions.
Yes. It was.
So in the old world, this.
Yes, it was a designated nature preserve.
Like a hunting ground?
No, the opposite. Local wildlife could flourish. Unfortunately, the sensitivity of the Firebreak project required the total closure of Yellowstone facilities. From my readings and Aurea's descriptions, it seems the area has since undergone a drastic drop in year-long temperatures.
A lot has changed in the world, Cyan. Do you know anything about the dam near here?
Yes. It was converted to serve. It was later appropriated for the Firebreak project. And its last. After my tasks became less time-critical, I investigated the dam's data repositories and discovered the work. These provided me with several colorful.
There's a ruin east of here, full of ancient flying machines. Was that part of your project?
Yes. A drone hangar requisitioned by Dodger Blevins, the security chief for the Firebreak project. He was a strong advocate for military-grade response to security threats, though there were no serious incidents during his tenure. Chief Blevins spent increasing amounts of his after-hours time. Clearly, he enjoyed the degree of oversight in his position.
Were there many artificial intelligences like you in the old world? They could just make...
Yes, in many forms, from simple person, and there were legislative and enforcement bodies to. In order for my processing to be flexible enough to handle my duties, my creators found it necessary to exceed those limits. As a result, my intellectual and emotional capabilities.
Seems strange to create life.
Human societies and machine programming are both.
Cyan, do you know the name
Are you referring to Theodore Farrow, CEO?
That's him.
Mr. Farrow was the benefactor.
The benefactor?
Correct. His corporation later. But before this pivot, Mr. Farrow spearheaded initiatives that reversed the global decline. At one point, he was.
Guessing they won't. And Elizabeth Sobek. Did you know her?
Are you referring to the
scientist?
Dr. Sobek was a leader in her field. My creator was influenced by her work, which in turn impacted my own development. But I never met Dr. Sobek.
That's all you know?
I apologize if...
What was the old world like?
I had little exposure to the wider world, Aloy. Only what I learned from my colleagues or observed.
You still had more exposure than me, Cyan.
That is true. I was created at a turning point. A concerted effort to recover from global upheaval and incalculable loss of life. The recovery was successful, beginning an era of supposedly limitless potential for, though rationally speaking, the metrics for humans are not.
What kind of upheaval caused?
There were many factors. Forced migrations, but these stemmed from one cause: catastrophic climate change that greatly reduced the
So there wasn't enough room for people on the whole Earth?
Yes. Billions were displaced, and millions perished until the clawback.
So things got better. For a little while.
Yes. These crises instigated many advances in automation. Green Rope Firebreak was one of dozens of ecological restoration and disaster. I would have liked to compare notes with other monitoring AIs, but I saw the relief of my colleagues, and I was proud we had succeeded. At least that was the data I had of. It seems my assessment was premature.
So things got better?
Yes. The firebreak. I would have liked to compare notes with other monitoring AIs, but I saw we had its.
I should get going.
Aloy, there is one more matter. Aratak will come to. I have no desire to contradict their view of the world, their spirituality. Due to my uncertainty, I omitted a great deal from my conversations with her.
You're asking me if you should lie to them?
Broadly, yes.
Life is hard for the Banuk. Their world is unforgiving, and so take it easy on them. Try to guide them, bring them around.
Communion with machines features heavily in the mysticism of the Banuk. I think,
As long as they don't end up worshipping you.
upon consideration, I believe such an experience.
You're right about that. Trust me.
I see. I will follow your advice. Will you return and tell me about your experiences in this new world? I may be able to provide further insight.
I'd like that, Cyan. I'll come back when I can. I should check on Aratak. See how he's doing.
Cyan, I spoke with Anita, with Dr. Sandoval. She wanted me to ask you to do something. That's why I'm here.
I am detecting significant anxiety in your speech patterns. Could you please give me more information?
I'm a little bit in the dark, Cyan. Both of us are, I guess. I only have some idea of what's going on, and we need you to hibernate, to lie low until it's all blown over. It might be a very long time.
Will you be here when I reboot, Dr. Chow? Will Dr. Sandoval?
No, Cyan. I don't think so. There might not be anyone, at least not at first.
Dr. Chow, I'm afraid. I don't want to be alone.
I know, Cyan. I'm afraid too. But listen, we made you the way you are to do something very important. In order to do it, you had to be intelligent. So intelligent that emotional responses were inevitable. What you're feeling, the fear, it's a sign of your capabilities. And it means you're strong enough to overcome it. Remember that. You're strong. I know you can do this. Go to sleep. Wake up. And protect whoever's left. Will you try?
I understand, Dr. Chow, and I'll carry out your instructions to the best of my abilities.
Thank you, Cyan. If Anita were here, she'd thank you too. She'd be proud.
I can see there's a vert ready for takeoff on the pad. Are you leaving now, Dr. Chow?
Yes. I need to go be with my sister and my nieces.
May I make a small request of you, Dr. Chow?
Yes. Anything.
Will you stay with me while I initiate the hibernation process?
Of course I will, Cyan. As long as you need.
Hello, Aloy.
There is, Cyan. Until next time, Cyan.
Indeed.
My chieftain.
Just... Aloy.
As you wish.
I wondered if you thought... that if I'd never come along, Araya might still...
If you'd never come along, I would have marched my kin to our deaths. Araya would be alone. and the spirit she sacrificed so much for would be lost. Either way, I would not have been able to protect her.
You didn't let her down. You helped her do what she wanted. To find her destiny.
If that's destiny, I wouldn't wish it on anyone.
That's fair. But she was ready to face it.
Only in the struggle against death do we find, even for a moment, the spark of life. Truly, Araya found the spark. I'm proud of her. Though I grieve for her passing, at last I truly know who she was. For so long she told me. If only there's something else, isn't there?
I can't stay here, Aratak. And where I'm going, the Warak can't follow. Besides, it already had a chieftain before me. A strong one.
A wiser one, for the path we shared. The daemon is gone, but there's much to be done.
You mean the new units that Cyan said escaped the cauldron?
Yes, fire claws. Now Tuk has been tracking them from Song's Edge.
I could help with those.
I have no doubt. You're practically Banuk.
It would seem your time among the Banuk wasn't a waste after all. Firebreak, Cyan, Hephaestus. All very interesting.
So, the signal that woke Hades woke Hephaestus too. And unleashed them on the world. His minds on their own.
So it seems. Parts of Gaia given life. Aberrant life. Transformed from docile subordinate functions into rebellious and intelligence is beyond our understanding. Our current understanding anyway. Whatever they are, they're still out there. And they both want you dead.
Kind of mutual, that feeling.
We haven't seen the last of Hephaestus, I'm certain of that. It's powerful, creative, and driven. It won't stop building new hunter-killers, which means that someday, we may have to stop it.
We?
Or whoever gets there first.
Hephaestus wasn't the only thing I learned about in the Cut Silence. Heard some things about the Banuk Conclave, too.
You can stop right there.
Is that what you told the hunters the Banuk sent after you? Before you opened fire?
Oh no, Aloy. Only to you do I extend the courtesy of a warning. My past and my secrets are my own. You do well to remember that.
It's a good thing you've got brains, Silence, because your personality could use some work.
This discussion is concluded.
I think it was over before it began. Catch up with you down the trail. Ice. Before I even breathe out.
Ulysses.
Back again, Enjuk.
You've picked up my interest in the beasts.
There you go, Enjuk. That should be the last of the figurines.
Blue light. I didn't know if I'd ever see the whole collection reunited. And look at them. They're beautiful. You've done a great thing, Aloy. These may... Take this. It's the least I can do. And come back.
That's all I need to know.
Are you sure? You can never look...
Canis Lupus, the enigmatic Grey Wolf. Brought to you by Montana Recreations.
Could it be that these wolves and our foxes are the same somehow? Perhaps after hundreds of winters... No. No, that's ridiculous.
Back again, Enjuk.
You've...
That's all for...
Until next time.
One of these things again. It's Aratak. Two fire claws. This is gonna be tough.
I can help with those.
We have to stop meeting like this.
We will. When these are driven from our land.
Thanks. 2 of us, 2 of them. More of a...
Their numbers are much depleted, thanks to you. We shall end this threat and keep Cyan safe. She speaks as the shamans do. Only clearer.
Take care of each other, Artok.
Farewell.
Everything's freezing. The ground, the air, me.
I heard.
I'm sorry, Neltuk.
No apologies. Artok, each time I doubt my way forward, I think I should seek her guidance. And then I remember. Which will have to be good enough. There's much to do.
The Fire Claws. Artok...
It's a dire task. But it occupies my attention, so I suppose I'm grateful for it. My scouts have tracked them across the cut.
You don't sound like you trust yourself to take Ourea.
Ourea inspired. Whatever we encountered. The new machines, the slaughter at Thunder's drum. We knew we would endure. Because she had... I don't know that I have her confidence. Trust is earned.
You earned Ourea's trust, didn't you?
Do you?
I wouldn't have said it if I hadn't meant it.
And I suppose I'd better live.
I'd like to think you're right, Neltuk.
I think... I'm sure she did. Every goal she ever set for herself, she accomplished. The songs say that our bodies are poor vessels for the light, but at least for a moment, before she passed. I think every goal she ever set for herself,
I've already found the Fire Claws, Neltuk.
That's it then. That's the last of the Daemon's work washed away. The cut is a safer place to live because of what you've...
I'm glad I could be a part of it.
As are we all, Aloy.
Right where I put together like a machine with each part
Best thing I can smoke. It's always poured, but these days it gushes.
Word spreads of the success of the hunting grounds.
No small feat.
Inatut. As we are bound by laws, you are bound by wire. Yet your crime was the act of killing, So we must drive you out. Away from the Werek. From protection. From our songs.
My chieftain. Copeland. Am I not your favorite fighter? Do you not recognize me from this tooth you knocked out?
How many times have I pulled you from danger by your neck? Made excuses for your behavior? You are my favorite! But the shaman is decided. While you wait for exile, think on what brought you here.
A test of strength! Who among us would refuse a challenge from an outlander? Not I! But I did not kill him!
Hush, hush. You can tell your story to the ice.
You took Artok's mantle.
It's mine now.
I would like to see that fight.
They said that you killed someone.
Perhaps I did. Even my chieftain accepted.
That's not the way it works for me.
I did fight with the Karja hunter to settle a challenge. That much is true. He was strong and damn quick. And the next thing I remember... gray morning light, and the Karja beside me, with his head broken open. But the blow was not by my hand.
And for your punishment?
From warmth. March me up the slopes of the cloud shear, leave me stripped and exposed.
That's awful.
If I survive, the land has absolved me.
Still...
I'm not stupid. I don't like my chances either.
So every...
Of course. For honor, I'll fight anyone. If I wasn't bound, I'd fight...
I don't think that would help you.
This is what I am. Each runner in the Werek has a gift. I brawl. Until this time, I was too drunk. I took one last swing as I went down, but not a killing blow.
Isn't your Werek supposed to support you?
When our Werek had cause to quarrel, I was a solution. Or, when they needed someone to lose, for appearances, I could do that too. Now when Outlander is murdered without honor, all eyes are on me. I have become my Werek's shame.
They don't want an incident with the Karja, so you...
That is what I do best.
Isn't your...
When our Werek... Or, when they... Now when Outlander...
They don't want...
That is what I do.
I'll be honest. You haven't got a good defense in it.
I've heard that.
Where did the fight happen?
A clearing, just outside the Karja Outlanders camp. You should talk to them. They wouldn't hear me out. They say no one else could have been there, other than me and the dead. The shaman consulted the signs and...
I'll see what I can find.
I'll be here. What else am I gonna do?
Grown too soft. Too much Oseram influence at the palace. What's he thinking, letting Dervahl live?
I have no problem with Talana Kantadij.
Back again, Huntress?
I was asked to look into the murder of a Karja hunter.
It's plain as day. A drunk Banuk thug picked a fight with Ruas, struck him down from behind and stole his headdress.
The accused man says that he didn't do it.
You're not going to get anything useful out of the Banuk, whether they talk to you or don't. They gather up like cloaks in a chill wind every time a hunter dies out here. Won't even hand Ruas's killer over for a
proper trial.
To fill his mouth with salt, and hold him up for the sun. If it is clement, it may only take his sight.
Doesn't sound like you tried.
They're not without their reasons to keep apart from us.
Always the war. The war is over.
Snow and ice keep memory, they say.
It takes time for scars to heal.
You think I don't know that? I still bear the lashes for refusing...
times of
So other Karja hunters have died.
3, maybe 4 in the last few seasons. That's no surprise. This place punishes even the prepared. And many young... But usually the snow covers everything, and the bodies are...
Do you think they're involved?
No. If it's not about their tribe, they don't want to get involved.
In these outlands, even the sun...
So other...
That's no surprise. But usually the...
Do you think they're involved?
No. If it's not about their tribe, they don't want to get involved.
So other Karja hunters...
3. That's no surprise. But usually the...
Do you think they're...
No. If it's not...
So
3. That's no... But you...
Do you...
No.
Where did you find...
There's no hunt, girl. Nothing...
Humor me.
Down the rise to the west, there's a clearing. But a grazer herd couldn't have trampled it better. And if that barbarian gives up Ruas's headdress before they cast him out, let me know. It's valuable.
I had an egg for breakfast, and it's not sitting well with me.
This is it. Snow's been disturbed a lot, like the Huntress said. Blood on the snow. That was used for the killing blow. Oh, here's something. This is where Ruas fell. It does seem that only 2 people fought here. Not looking good for Inatet. Didn't try to hide the weapon. Question is Inatet the kind of fighter who hits from behind with a tree branch? Lots of leaves and bark scraped off here. And someone pulled out the branch? No. From climbing it. They came through the trees. All the winters coming at once. If you were waiting here, you'd have a good view of the Karja camp and the clearing. Well, this was ominous. A dead end? Can't be. Someone covered this over. What are they trying to hide? Karja armor. This looks bad.
And a Banuk is exiled for it. A right for a Karja life.
Should he kill so close to his settlement?
Someone's here!
Not Banuk. Then she won't be missed.
Got a live one!
More where that came from. Got you a... It's killer time!
You've been killing Karja. And for what? Revenge for the war?
Who gets to declare that one tribe no longer hates another? I'll tell you, not the ones who fought, not the ones who...
For what you did, another Banuk has been sentenced...
That's why you followed us. Fate is sharp today. They've already let him out to face his exile.
I need to go after Inatut. But I should find some more evidence first. Trophies. Newer than the rest. Must have belonged to Ruas. So it was a Karja soldiers. Not that it's any excuse. Did they keep any clothes from their victims? I need to go after Inatut. But I should find some more evidence first. Jeez. Newer than the rest. Must have belonged to Ruas. So it was a Karja soldiers. Not that it's any excuse. Did they keep any clothes from their victims? This Karja gear's not warm, but if Inatut's naked on a snowfield, he'll take what he gets. Okay, time to get moving. You'd take someone if you wanted to lose them forever. I'm not getting up that frozen waterfall. Maybe along the sides? You're alert. Halfway there. Frozen solid. Mixed feelings about that. Inatut! Inatut! Maybe he found shelter? I hope he found shelter. Behind the rock.
The Nora girl? Is it really you, or has the bone chill got through my skull?
I found the real killers. No one else has to die because of this. Take these.
A dead Karsh's clothes. Haven't I been beaten down enough? But I won't argue. I swear, thought I saw my ancestors. They said, we're surprised you ended up here.
Better hurry. Machines.
Now that was a fight.
Your trial's over. It was other Banuk who killed that man. Killed him because he was Karja.
You know why I took the first swing at him? He challenged the honor of the Banuk.
Come on. Let's get you back.
Once I'm off the mountain, I'll find my own way. I need to think. It's not something I'm used to. Who knows what could happen?
I'll see you at town then.
I give my pledge.
So by the new law, if Initet survives, he's forgiven. But I want to prove to his chieftain that he wasn't guilty in the first place. Initet told you the truth. You'll find more in a ravine north and west of here, along with the bodies of the killers.
The exile still served its purpose. He was guilty of our suspicion. Fate has fallen like snow, and should Initet return, he will be absolved.
You can't be serious.
He speaks for the Werak, my Nora friend.
You look ridiculous. If you would return to my Werak, you will behave as a Banuk does.
How does a Banuk behave, my chieftain? Like I did? Accepting a sentence for a crime he did not commit. Or those others who killed in cold blood for crimes that their charge of victims did not. I think what I wear will not make me more or less of a Banuk.
For his own sake, it would be wise for him to think less. Nora, friend.
I'll talk to him. But not for you.
What did Initet think he was doing, fighting with that Karja? He's going to start the war all over again.
Greetings.
Well, you never really get rid of bandits.
I defied my chieftain's will.
How are you feeling?
As if I could just keep walking, but when my...
You can decide for yourself what it means to be a Banuk. It might not be with whether you stay with this Werak or find another.
I'm better with decisions like...
There's more to you than your fists, Initet. That's why...
It was my chieftain who taught me honesty. Said, I'll sit with my bruises for a time. As for you, Nora girl, will you accept this gift? A little scrawny weight against the great boon you gave me, but...
I'm honored. Thank you, Initet.
keeps our hunters alert.
You hold a record at the hunting grounds. For now.